Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kyla and today I'm going to be giving you an update, a life update. I'm going to be telling you what's been going on, how I've been feeling, what I've been going through. This is like an update after my testimony video, so if you haven't seen my testimony video, please go ahead and go watch this so this video will make more sense. But let's get into it. Okay y'all, so first things first, your girl has been crying non-stop. I am not even a crying person. I'm really usually like a really strong person. I don't let people in on my emotions. I don't let people know how I'm feeling. Like I really keep a lot of stuff to myself. And I think that after this process, I realized how damaging that has been. God really had to bring me down to my knees. He brought me to my knees in tears, y'all. In tears. So one thing I will say that's I've been experiencing a lot of spiritual warfare. Obviously, the devil is big mad that God brought me out of homosexuality because the devil loves to have your mind. When he has your mind, he has control. Like I realized, like in this time, I've been just really reflecting and really just trying to heal and being really super vulnerable and open with God. I realized like I had no control over my mind. Like I was aware of the decisions that I was making, but I wasn't aware of like how strong of an influence the devil had on your girl. Like I was really out here being a slave to my feelings. Like for real. I didn't even like I was really out here being a slave to my feelings. Anything that I wanted to do, I just knew I was on the right path. I just knew that nobody couldn't tell me any differently. And God, like when God was dealing with me, he was like, I need to show you what you were doing. I need to bring you to a place of awareness. I need to remove the scales from your eyes to show you how toxic your behaviors were. Like even outside of homosexuality, y'all, like I used to buy big gallons of wine. I'm talking like gallons, not the little big bottle, but like the big fat bottle. And I used to literally drink myself to sleep, y'all. And it was getting to the point, it was like, yeah, I'm living my best life. I'm having a good time, you know, I'm popping my wine, because all I used to really drink was wine. And then it got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm having a drink every day now, you know. I can't go home without a drink. I need a drink all the time. And then God was showing me like how toxic that behavior was, that like how easy it is to make anything an idol in your life. Like not only did I make my ex an idol, I made wine an idol, I made alcohol an idol, and I was trying to really numb the pain of what I was going through. So in this time span, I haven't been drinking, and I've been really trying to be sober minded so God can really deal with me, because a lot of the stuff I listen to about people that have to go through, go through different things, God brings them out of things. You have to go through this process, like this process of God, like pulling everything out of you. And it's like everything, it's like he's pulling me out of me. Like everything that's not like him, he's pulling it out, and it hurts. Oh my gosh, like places he has me going back to, like it freaking hurts, like stuff that I didn't want to deal with, relationships that I didn't want to mend, stuff in myself that I hadn't even forgiven myself. And really it took me a little while to make this video, because God really had to deliver me and bring me out of this victim mindset of what I was going through. Like when I got delivered, I was so ashamed. I was ashamed. I didn't feel like I deserved it. I felt like I had to do all of these things to really earn God's forgiveness. And he was just telling me, like, it's not by your works, you know what I mean? Like, grace and the mercy of God is a gift. And first of all, I'm not really wanting to really accept gifts, so I can understand why I had a hard time accepting God's love and forgiveness. But it really broke me down. Like for weeks, I just felt this heaviness on my shoulders, and I felt like I was just disgusted with myself. I was really ashamed that I had claimed that I really loved God, and I really did him dirty. Like I really, oh my gosh, like I just was so in shock of like the audacity that I had to keep going after all these years of him telling me that this wasn't the lifestyle for me. I was mad disrespectful, and God still chose to forgive me. Like, that's a lot to deal with. Forgiveness that you don't even deserve, man. Listen, God's love is something that is really so freaking crazy. Like, I don't even know if there's words to describe it. Like, we surely don't deserve it. Oh my goodness, I did not deserve it. Like, if you watch my last video, you know that I was like, God, I don't care what you got to say about my life. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, whatever. Like, and he still was like, listen, you hard-headed, you stubborn. I'm going to let you go through some things. I'm going to let you go through some things. I'm going to break you down. I'm going to bring you to your knees. And when I tell y'all, like, I spent, even before I got delivered, like, and I was really trying to get to know him, like, I had lost so much of what I used to know. Like, all the good parts of me, they were just dead. And in this time, God has really has me in this restoration period. Like, I've never, like, I knew there was the hole of like my vision being lost, but I didn't realize like how many other holes there were in my life. And so I was like, God, like, please stop. Like, this is too much for me in this short period of time. Like, I didn't even have time to grieve. I didn't even have time to grieve because I felt so ashamed that I claimed that I loved God, and I did him so wrong. Like, I did him wrong, man. I did him wrong. And so I've been praying every day. I've been crying. Your girl had a really bad breakdown at my job the other day because I just couldn't grasp like the forgiveness and the grace. Like, it was just so overwhelming for me, and I just broke down in tears at work because I was like, God, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve you giving me another chance. You gave me so many chances and I don't deserve it. You told me so many times and I was still disrespectful. Like, so this period that I'm in, this process, this stripping process, this pruning process is like the most painful thing I've ever had to deal with. Like, it's rough. It's really, really rough, y'all. Like, oh my gosh, it's like, imagine somebody just like, you think you get to a space where you've like, you know, you've gone back and you faced everything, and then God's like, nope, I want you to address this area. Nope, I want you to forgive your father. And I'm like, oh God, like, that's a whole nother story. I would definitely get into that. But yeah. Also, during this time, I had a little bit after the girl that I was telling you guys about from the Bust and Bust That podcast, her name is Tatum. She actually did a 21-day social media fast, and personally, I love social media, so I didn't realize like how addicted I was to it. Like, I was always on my phone, always kind of just scrolling, Anyway, it was a 21-day social media fast, and during this time we had like daily prayer calls Monday through Friday, and there was like daily devotionals and like this forum where everybody was like just basically trying to get closer to God, and the whole point of the fast was to like block out any distractions in your life so you can really like hear from God. And so during this process is when I was hearing God speak the most heavily to me, because I wasn't, you know, distracted, because it can get really hard to hear God's voice because it's so soft and it's so like, he might say something so subtle that you might miss it, kind of being really distracted and busy. When I tell y'all this fast was so powerful, like Kabaya Patrice, who also owns the She Who Was Called app, she was on this fast as well. And when I tell you, them two are like powerhouses. Like, every call we were like letting out so much, and I'm to this point where I feel so light. Things that I have been carrying around for years, like, I just gave them to God. Like, I really, when I came at this point, I was like, God, I don't want to hold anything back from you. If there's any area in my life that you need to work on, if there's any area in my life that you need to touch, if there's anybody in my life you need to pull away from me, if there's anybody I need to forgive, just do it. Like, just have your way. And I just got to that point because I just, oh my gosh, like I was just so, I'm so grateful. So another thing that I've been doing is on this fast, I've been really getting into the word. And I remember when I was still in a lifestyle, and I was trying to get to know God, but like I wasn't really trying to get to know God. And I was like saved, but I was like fake saved because I really wasn't, you know, being obedient. So I was fake saved. So when I got real saved, I was like, all right, I need to know more about the Bible, and God and the Bible are one. His word is the truth. So I'm like, I need to know the truth because I'm not gonna allow anybody else to try to tell me. Like people will tell you scriptures, but like for me, I had to go back and read them myself because I had to read them in context. And like the word is like a living word. So when you read things, the Holy Spirit brings understanding to you. So I'm reading, and I'm like, ooh, like the word is really dragging me. I'm really getting dragged by the word because the stuff that I'm reading, I'm like, dang, I was really disobedient. Like I really tried to play God, and I only end up playing myself, to be honest. But the more I read the word, the closer I became to God, and the easier it was for me to hear from Him because He actually started speaking to me through the word. Like I would be reading something, and it would like speak exactly to my situation, and I'm like, whoa, God, like, whoa there, let's calm it down. But like really, like what it was is like I was being convicted in so many areas. I'm like, can I just deal with this one area? Can I just deal with the fact that you just, you know, I just had to pull myself out of a 5-year relationship? Can I deal with the fact that it's been a very short time? Can I deal with the fact that I had to move back home into my parents' house? Like, y'all, my apartment, I was so, listen, when you follow God, you're gonna have to give up everything. It ain't no, I'm gonna hold on to this person, I'm gonna hold on to, you know, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, but I'm still gonna love God. Like for me, I'm not trying to go through this process again. I'm not trying to make this process long and dragged out because the only thing that drags it out is when I'm not allowing God to, you know, to get to a part of me that He said He needs to work on. I'm not allowing Him to work on certain parts of my character. So for me, I was like, listen, you just take it out, God, like, because I just had to fully surrender. Like, I apologize to God every day. And like I said, apologizing doesn't work because, you know, obedience is better than sacrifice. So I'm like, God, whatever you need me to do, go. So when He told me to leave my apartment, I was like, oh, God, I only been in this apartment for like 3 months. I only been in this apartment for 3 months. This was my dream apartment. I worked so hard for it. It had everything that I wanted in there. And God was like, leave. And I was like, oh, God, please, no. Like, I felt like that was the last thing that I had left. Like, that was the last thing I had left. And so I left, had to pay a bunch of money to leave, but I was obedient. It didn't even make sense. You know what also didn't make sense? Sometimes I notice that God will, not sometimes, all the time. Most of the time God told me to do something, it don't even make no sense. Like recording my testimony video. I was still living in the apartment with my ex, making this video when I was breaking down. I freaking felt so uncomfortable. I was like, I don't even know why you want me to make this video so fast. I didn't even have no time to grieve, no time to breathe, like no nothing, no time to even process what's happening. And God told me to make the video, and I'm like, oh God, please, like I don't want to put myself out there. I don't want to be vulnerable. I don't really want to let people know how I'm feeling. And then God had to remind me, it's not about you. It's not about me, man. It's not about me. This is so much bigger than me. Like, first of all, I didn't even know this was possible. I didn't know you could be delivered from homosexuality. Like, it wasn't until after I got delivered that I found out there were more people that this was happening to. Like, there were more people that had the courage to speak out. But for me, I didn't know. I didn't know that. I just knew God had told me, like, listen, you gotta come out of this. And I was obedient because I just had to. I told you, God brought me to my knees. Like, He stripped me of everything. He stripped me of everything. But anyway, I left my apartment. I moved back in with my parents, and I really felt really low. I felt like I was really at my lowest point because it's like I came full circle. The same people that I was mouthing off and disrespecting, like I had to come back home. And I just thought it was going to be really awful. But when I tell you, like, God is truly amazing. Like, He is restoring relationships in my life that I thought were broken completely. Like, He has brought me to a place of such peace that this peace, I don't even know if there are words to describe this peace, but it's like in the midst, you know, I used to describe how I felt like I was like sitting in a big like tornado. Like my life was revolving around me and everything was happening so quickly, and all I could do was just sit there and surrender. That's what it feels like. It felt like I was sitting in a big tornado while God cleans up the mess that I made. God cleans up the mess that I made. So I don't even know what my other thought was, but that's what my life feels like. That's a perfect depiction of what my life. This is like God's hand around my life, just, and I'm just sitting here in awe of how loving and how merciful He's been, and I'm just, I'm just happy that God would choose me, that God would pull things out of me, that God could really, I'm so happy that God is restoring me, because I didn't even realize how broken I was. I was so broken, so broken. So that's really all I can process in my head. There's been so many things that happen. Like I said, I'll definitely make more videos, but like, that's just kind of a snippet of the things that I've been going through. Yeah, I definitely look forward to sharing more videos about my journey. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, especially if you're going through what I'm going through, or you're even just want to be nosy, just want to see what's up. Just go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification button so you can see when I post a new video. Because we on this journey together, y'all. I don't even know some of y'all, but Holy Spirit has a way of bringing people together. So yeah, go ahead, subscribe, hit the notification button. Yeah, let's get into it, y'all. This is gonna be a journey. This is gonna be a ride. I don't know where God's taking me, but wherever I go, it's a yes for me, because I owe my life to Him. I owe my life to Him. So y'all have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all on the next video.